Skylar Diggins-Smith, all-star mom and all-star player. On top of being a mother of two, she's nurtured a whole generation of women's basketball players, serving as the blueprint for crafting a personal brand both on and off the court. Now, in her 10th season, Skylar continues to rise beyond limitations and maintains her commitment to never settle under any circumstance. This episode of Difference Makers is presented by CarMax. One thing about Skylar Diggins-Smith, she just makes it look easy.
Diggins stops, shoots and scores. A tough basket, but she shoots and scores.
Whether that it is hooping, navigating a boardroom, being a mom in the W, or getting a fit off in that tunnel, she always comes correct. The pro resume speaks for itself. Let's see. 6-time WNBA All-Star, 4-time All-WNBA First Team Selection, 2014 Most Improved Player, 2013 WNBA All-Rookie Team. That's a mouthful. But to tell this story right, we've got to start at the beginning.
2009 Gatorade Girls National Player of the Year Award.
Sky popped up on the national radar in college, but she's been a South Bend legend. Her high school, Washington High, was down the street from the Joyce Center on Notre Dame's campus, and she played like she knew they were watching.
It is amazing. You dream of, stuff like this.
The Washington Panthers lost 7 games combined in her 4-year tenure, and they won a state chip. Dropping 29 points per game her senior year earned her a bunch of National Player of the Year awards and, of course, a spot in the McDonald's All-American game.
Look at Skylar Diggins racing after that basketball. And she's staying put in South Bend to play for Notre Dame next year.
It was a natural progression for the top point guard prospect in the nation to stay home and play for legendary Coach Muffet McGraw. And when you learn from a Hall of Famer, something just clicks in you.
Needs a screen. Tough shot, she got it off in time. How about that?
Clicking is the understatement of the century because she was racking up those accomplishments. 3 Final Fours, 2 national championship game appearances, First Team All-American honors, and 2 Nancy Lieberman awards as the best point guard in the country. She was her, to say the least. Although a national title never came during her time, she was a national sensation. Skylar popularized the Tide headband look and had every kid and plenty of adults wanting to rock one, including me. Her influence extended off the court and into the culture.
And that is Little Wayne.
He's a huge fan of Skylar Diggins.
Lil Wayne wore her jersey on stage and came to watch her courtside. Dre couldn't seem to stop wearing her jersey either. You want to talk about nothing was the same? Drizzy dropped that album and Skylar had already changed the game enough that her being too big for him was a whole punchline at the ESPYs. That it factor personality got her a ton of followers on social media, and it would have filled her pockets too if name, image, and likeness rules were what they are now. With all that hype came a need for upgraded security when Notre Dame hit the road. Articles at the time said the Sky and her teammates were rolling up with the security detail like they were in the government. All this helped make the 2013 WNBA draft one of the most anticipated in history with the arrival of the marquee 3 to C, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Brittany Griner, and Elena Delle Donne. Skylar went 3rd overall to the Tulsa Shock. 10 days after the draft, Skylar had the timeline going up when she tweeted "Shot Nation meets Rock Nation." At just 22 years old, after a 20-minute conversation with Jay-Z, Sky let her hundreds of thousands of followers know that she had become the first female athlete to sign with Rock Nation Sports. She even got a shout out from Rihanna. Now, as you might expect from a Tulsa squad with a top draft pick, team success was hard to come by. Skylar hit the ground running though, being selected to the all-rookie team. Still, she questioned whether she really fit into the WNBA and contemplated going overseas instead. She pushed through and regained her self-belief. In her 2nd year, she more than doubled her scoring average from 8.5 points per game to 20.1 and upped her assist numbers, resulting in her first All-Star appearance. She was busy in 2014, not only winning Most Improved like I mentioned, but finding time to model for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue and slay that spread. The endorsements with major brands rolled in too. Nike, Body Armor, Sprint, and more opened up revenue streams that allowed her to break away from the norm of playing in a foreign league in order to supplement her WNBA salary. You've got to understand how rare this was. Skylar was one of the only WNBA All-Stars who didn't spend her offseason in higher paying leagues like Russia or China. She proved there was another path that players could follow. You could stay right here at home and profit off your brand. Just showing that the players in the WNBA had options was liberating in itself. Never mind the doors she helped open with her play. In year 3, Skylar was taking a leap on the court, drilling 45% of her three-pointers. But just 9 games into the season, she suffered a torn ACL.
And Diggins fell on her right knee and can't get up, and we've got an injury timeout. Unless going to walk it off as Allison Russell, the trainer, attends to her.
It's just all about what happens in these empty gyms when nobody's around and nobody's watching.
Set it, bang, set it, move, turn, bang, move, ball.
My mom always taught me, failure to prepare is preparing to fail. And knowing that you're prepared, you know, that's where your confidence comes from.
After the Shock relocated and became the Dallas Wings, they signed Sky to a new 4-year deal. And it didn't take her long to get back in all-star form. We were used to seeing her ball out on the court, but there were a few times when Skylar had to take the reins and reposition her perspective. And sometimes that meant taking time away from the sport that she loved. She sat out the entire 2019 season after giving birth for the first time. After the season was over, Skylar kept it real, and she tapped in with her emotions in a very public way. Using her social media platforms that now had more than 1 million eyeballs on them, she spoke about postpartum depression and the limited resources and support that were available to her and any professional athletes who became pregnant. She pushed back on any talk that she had abandoned her team by not suiting up. In fact, she had done quite the opposite, deciding to play while pregnant during the 2018 season and telling no one, highlighting an often ignored area while emphasizing the importance of focusing on mental health was a powerful step from Sky, and it resonated. She helped spark changes to the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, which guarantees maternity leave with full pay, plus help with childcare and housing. She was a walking example of how vulnerability can be your durability, helping all women be less afraid of the journey into motherhood. After all, she was far from done with making history on the court. When she was due for a new deal in 2020, she inked the richest contract in WNBA history. A Supermax deal that brought her career earnings to the #1 spot in the history of the league. A sign-in trade to the Phoenix Mercury meant she'd start playing out that contract in a new city, and all she did from there was post 3 straight years of getting top 10 MVP votes, including averaging 19.7 points per game in 2022, her most since 2014. But you gotta know with Sky, she's gonna have time for some extracurriculars. After becoming a South Bend legend, a WNBA All-Star, a wife, and a mom, Skylar shook things up yet again and brought home an Emmy. I'm talking one letter closer to the EGOT Emmy.
Glad you could join us alongside Skylar Diggins-Smith, the 5-time WNBA All-Star, Olympian.
Skylar joined the Phoenix Suns as a guest analyst and immediately became a fan favorite on the mic as the Suns made their first NBA Finals in almost 30 years. Then she went and helped the Mercury reach their own WNBA Finals appearance. What can't she do? You should know by now that being versatile is kind of Skylar's thing. A fashionista at heart, she dishes dimes on the court and serves looks off it. Her flair for fashion has made fans and brands take notice, resulting in a long-standing partnership with Puma, who signed Skylar back in 2017. She became the first professional hooper to sign with the brand since Vince Carter in 1998. The on-court and lifestyle pieces she dropped perfectly blend her passion for sports and fashion. They cater to her everyday life, allowing her to embrace femininity while also feeling comfy and sporty. Sky first lacing up the Pumas was a storybook moment. She wore Nike until the 2018 All-Star Game where she debuted the Puma Clyde court. That same day, the WNBA announced a league-wide partnership that was Puma's first deal with the Pro Sports League. Skylar has always started trends, becoming the first before anyone else could be. She didn't follow a traditional path in life, and instead of that working against her, the brands loved that originality. Anyone who wanted to be fashion forward, like Fenty or Skims, wanted Sky showing off their products. At 33 years old, Skylar's been in national conversation for 15 years now. That's a long time to be in such a bright spotlight. While she was on maternity leave during the 2023 season, she dealt with all those complicated emotions and the physical challenges of getting back into playing shape. There was also the matter of her feeling supported in her life and career.
I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. I might just retire, I might just leave.
I told Jana that she pushed me. I lost 50 pounds since my daughter was like 2 or 3 months. We've been in that gym. You know, she got me back to that belief where I feel like now I feel stronger than I was before, and I didn't think that was possible.
Skylar has always been an advocate for surrounding yourself with people who make you better and returning that favor. When she felt it was time to move on from Phoenix, she reached back to her roots.
I want to play with Jewell. I want to play with Jewell.
Skylar was a senior when Jewell Loyd stepped on campus at Notre Dame and immediately took her under her wing.
She's just a freshman.
She kind of reminds me of myself. Kind of came out of high school with those same expectations.
My relationship with Skylar is pretty amazing. She's the big sis I never had. She looks after me.
Jewell Loyd, just a freshman herself, one of the best in the country.
Now, Jewell has blossomed into one of the best players in the W, with 2 rings and a scoring title in Seattle. Her chemistry with Sky is obvious. With former champ and MVP Nneka Ogwumike, plus other stars in the fold too, Sky might just round out her legacy with a championship. Skylar Diggins-Smith's story is still being written, and she'll handle the pen the way she handles the ball. With intensity, intention, and integrity. The sport of basketball benefits from Sky's unwillingness to waver from greatness. Basketball culture benefits from Sky's innovation and boldness. Women who play basketball benefit from Sky because she materializes the ability to juggle a family and a career while being oh so gratified in the most elite level. She's a true change maker and a walking example of how establishing a personal brand and executing a plan for its lucrativeness can lead to being a legend of the game. This episode of Difference Makers is presented by CarMax. Never settle, on the lot or on the court. CarMax.